So the reason I started this channel was really to kind of work through some ideas that I kind of want to actually put together into like a little manual for my children and hopefully my grandchildren eventually. Uh, when when I started thinking about kind of how my generation was raised, I realized that a lot of people didn't come or didn't get their parents' kind of knowledge really passed down to them. And by those people, I think I mean mostly, I, I guess I would say Anglo descendants, and it seems to be an international thing. It seems to be the same in America, Australia, Canada, the UK. It seems to be this common thing that our either Gen X or Boomer parents didn't really have much concern about trying to pass on a lot of information about what they learnt and how the world works and everything through to their children. It seems like something happened where they moved the expectation of teaching this away from themselves and even, it sounds like, churches and stuff. And basically to move this responsibility to schooling. And as we all know, I think the schooling system has failed us quite a lot there. It really hasn't told us how the world works. And with a lot of historical events and stuff, it seems to be mostly propaganda designed to make us think one way and accept a system that really doesn't work in our best interest. It actually kind of works against us. So sadly, I do think that that Boomer Gen X generation were the kind of weak men that created hard times, which is what we're experiencing. And like, I don't begrudge them for it. Like, if we lived in the best of times, the chances of us thinking times would get harder probably a lot lower than we think now. The only reason we're aware is because we can't afford houses. We're all kind of not as happy as our parents' generations were. Basically, every marker for quality of life seems to be significantly lower than that, 50s, 60s kind of generation. And they, didn't pass a lot of information down. And I found myself having to learn a lot of it through the internet, through podcasts, through listening to people I guess I respect or think that they have some kind of insight, as well as just lessons from my kind of general observations of the world as I kind of live through it. So yeah, basically this channel is just going to be chronicling all those kind of ideas that I plan to put into this little manual for my children, who will probably disregard it, but at least I'll feel like I've done something good. And if they're not feeling like reading it, maybe they'll listen to this channel. But yeah, so stick around. As I've said in my previous video, this is a very small channel, so if you got something you would like to contribute in the comment section, I'm definitely going to read it. It's a hard and difficult topic, and I think it's something people get very angry towards the previous generations for, but we kind of have to empathize in that they just did not have the access to information we have with the internet, and they also lived in good times where it was hard for them to be able to foresee the bad times coming, and most of them probably didn't even know the workings of government, just because their only source of news was the newspaper, or radio if you go back far enough, or TV. Whereas, once the internet came about, we could start to see all corners, all perspectives, everything about any particular issue. So yeah, I don't begrudge them, but it seems like we need to kind of put some lessons together, especially as the world keeps changing faster and faster, if the lessons from the previous iteration haven't been established, then I think we just doom the next generation and we become the new boomers, as in we become hated by Gen Alpha or whichever generation's after them. So, yes, that's the intention of this channel. Tell us what you think about, I guess, that interesting transition period from the boomers and Gen X, how they literally went from arguably probably the best of times in history to 50 years later, basically creating a pretty sad kind of situation for, I guess, their grandchildren, or in my case, their children. Yeah, it changes very quickly. All it took was one generation, which is quite shocking. But yeah, leave that and stick around for some more videos. Thank you.